No. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. There's potential for an echo. If there is one, let me know. Hopefully not. It's all the same source, but you never know. How's everybody doing tonight? No, we won't do that. Oh, shoot. Come on, you. Sorry, everything just logged me out. Hang on a second. What is going on here? The restream just logged me out. Okay, just hang on 1 second here. Wouldn't it be tech if it wasn't difficult? No, don't do that. Go to the chat, please. There we go. Holy cow. All right. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're all having an excellent start to your week. I am on my desktop today. I'm having some difficulty. So pull this over here. And then put this up here. Goodness gracious. So give myself a little bit more room to play here. All right. Whew. Okay. How is everybody doing? Excuse me. So I'm on my desktop today. I had grand plans. I was going to work on tarot in the form of another piece of art, but I've had this part on my list for quite some time. I'm wanting to print off some samples of my deck before I kind of finish it and then send a full 78 card deck off to the universe. And then I don't like what the printer does. So a couple of the printers that I've been kind of scouting out have had an option to print like just 10 cards instead of the full deck. For a pretty decent price, actually. To do that, though, I need a back to my card. So what I want to do, I wonder if this is still here. Sneak peek time. Quick, don't miss it. So to give you an idea, oh my goodness gracious, it's RB. Back from the dead. He lives. Hey, dude. Alright. So to give you an idea of what we've got going on, this is kind of what the layout... I don't know why I did it that way. This is what kind of the front of a black and white card will look like. And I'm kind of on the fence as to whether I want to do... Okay, we're starting to... Let's put this over here. That's not a problem. Make sure it's not messing up my OBS, and it's not. Oh, it's not even showing those windows. Excellent. It just looks like I'm just clicking things willy-nilly over here. Okay. So I'm personally on the fence a little bit as to whether I want to have the card be the back of the card. Sorry. To have the pattern that you can see on the left here, like the pattern like the border of the card has, or if I want it to be fully black. So we're going to play around with some designs and see what blends best to it. We could do both as well. Both is a possibility too, but I want to play around with the design that we have here. RB says, yeah, almost like back from the dead, still lingering on both sides. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The plagues that have been going around, man, have been knocking people straight flat. I know mine knocked me out for a couple weeks, and then I've known some people their colds have been lingering. It's very frustrating right now. Any kind of plague right now is hitting pretty hard, so take care of yourself, please. So what I'm going to be working on today is kind of a play off of I designed for the back of the card. So we'll see how far we get with it. This design, this white line design that you see, this kind of came out of Adobe Express actually. This or something similar came up on a template for a layout that when I was starting to build some social media presence for the cards. I found this template and this is on there. I can't remember if I modified it or not, but I just kind of liked that it kind of played into the cards. I always envisioned a lot of circles and stuff within the tarot cards. They don't really come through, but kind of early day planning and designing came through that way for me. Excuse me. And so this kind of really played into like the little triangles kind of look like tents and things like that. So this guy is kind of my inspiration for what I want to do with the back of the card, because I want to keep it simple. I don't want to kind of lean the back of the card to a full illustration. I want it to be very uniform to the whole deck. Like if I did one illustration with a certain face, it might lean towards major arcana or to a circus or to the mood or whatever else, and I want it to kind of encompass all of it. So I'm thinking more playing off of the lines and things that I have here, and then the lines kind of impacting what the stained glass and all that kind of looks like, the style. So we're going to just kind of use this as an inspiration and start building a few things here. I don't know if it's going to be white or if it's going to be gray like this, because we also have the full color ones that are gold, so we can actually mix and match. Let me see if I can find a card that has closed all my windows. That would be magic. Go. Well, I might as well just grab the one that's already the right size. What a silly idea. There we go. And I'll get rid of this. So maybe we do kind of like a silver and gold kind of approach. I kind of like the black and white because that kind of lends to the circus a little bit more, but then again, that leaves kind of the magic ones out of it. So let's do this here. So I'm using Adobe Illustrator, if I did not say that already. And we are working on the back of the tarot card. So Alessandra's here. Welcome to the stream. I don't know why I have this in two places. Okay, let's try this. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so what I want to do here is not make a mess. So I'm just going to create a new layer and lock the one that has all the content on it. So now I can't move any of these guys around and make a mess for myself. And we're just going to play around with some shapes here and see what we can find. Come on, you. There we go. So I had a couple too that I have on the... Are these the same ones? Huh, they are. Okay. So the design that you're seeing here is still from Adobe Express, but I did actually alter this one. I did two different things before the stream started. I started with, I was going to grab the one right from Express, but then I did the bookmarks, which I have a couple here. This is a dragon one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So these guys right here, but I used the same pattern on the back of them, but I did alter this. I did change this from what the Express one was because I wanted some of the circles and some of the fills to come through. So I told a bit of a fib and I'm super sorry. I did have the, this one that we're seeing here of this pattern is an altered version of what came out of Express. And so we're going to play with that a little bit more. We're going to use, I'm going to try not to speed through this. I'll kind of try and explain what I'm doing here as we go through. But right now I'm just going to get a few little shapes together I want some interlapping. I want some crossover. And then we'll play with highlights and different things like that. No, I kind of want it to be like that. So just doing some stroke only shapes. I want these to be kind of intersecting. I want it to kind of look like the tent is coming through in the circle there. And then just throwing in just lines. There's no fills on these. Sorry, I was using IsoDraw earlier today, so my shortcuts are all messed up. Is there an echo? Okay, I wondered. Let me check and see. Because there's a couple audio. Is that better? Let me know. There's a few different audio ones. I haven't used this setting in OBS in a while because I've been doing the iPad. If you can still hear me, or if it sounds better, let me know. So just copy in front. Now I think I have my stroke set to scale. So as you can see, like, okay, RB, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're feeling better soon. Thank you for showing up for a little bit. Get better. So Illustrator has Antoine's here. Welcome to the stream. Is the sound better now, Alessandra? Can you let me know, please? I turned off a few echoes. No. Okay, so as you can see, like the stroke that's on this circle versus this circle is a little different. That's because the setting I have on stroke right now is scale, is to scale the stroke with the size. So it'll make it smaller. You can turn that off. But for right now, because I'm just throwing lines in here, I'm not going to mess around with that too much because I'm going to be changing all of these at some point anyway. I just want to see what kind of plays in. Copy to front. And then all I'm doing is holding the shift key and dragging it in certain ways that kind of gives me some fun shapes to play with. So if I'm pulling from the right side over, then I can, obviously this line holds on the left, so it kind of get that cool moon shape. It's a little big, so I'm going to do this. And, oh, it sounds better. Excellent. Phew. This technical difficulties, I tell ya. And then maybe like this. Nope, that's not what I want. What do I want? Biggest question of the day. See, now it's going to mess up all the things. So I want, no. So I like how this is running. I guess it doesn't have to touch. We can have it do. So all I'm doing is just hitting copy and pasting it in front. Maybe. We're going to play with a few of these. And then we're just going to throw some straight lines in here. Some of the flashing that I think you might see. Let me check and make sure you're seeing some of it. Oh dear. Yeah, so as you can see, when I'm scrolling through, some things will flash every now and again. That's because I have smart guides on. And what that means is it's going to help me see where it's really tiny. So it might not show up on the screen, but the little pink word that pops up there it says path. So I know I'm selecting a path when I click right there, or here. Sometimes it'll be a point or a vector. that I'm selecting. So it'll tell me what I'm, oh, see, that one will say anchor. So then I know I'm selecting the point rather than the path if I want to move, if I want to move the edge around. I want to grab the point rather than on the path where I'd be moving the whole line together. So that helps me to decide that rather than just guessing. So I really like that feature. And then we're going to copy front, and I'm going to reflect this. Now, this one's going to be real time, because I haven't done this in a while. Actually, can I just right click, transform, reflect? Actually, you know what I want to do? Is I'm going to hold Option. Oh no. Hang on. Reflect, vertical, okay. Oh, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. Ignore my copy front. What we're going to do is we're going to transform, reflect, and I click copy so that it makes a copy for me. There's a way to get it from right from the anchor point, but my brain is only telling me isodraw things right now. From work. And then when you're clicking and dragging things around, these little like pink lines will show up. That's showing where things are lining up or snapping to. So if I wanted everything to line up on this center line, which I do, if it highlights, that means we're interacting with it nicely. So if I go into outline mode, you can see for the most part, see everything's kind of sitting nicely on that line rather than being jumpy all over. So if I want to start to cut and paste and work around with this, then I know things are in line, which will set me up for a little more success than otherwise. Now, with one anchor selected, if I hold Option, oh, how come that didn't work? It'll duplicate that line for me, holding Option on the keyboard. There we go. And then I wonder if we want to do another one. Maybe not this one. Maybe oh, Alessandra's watching from the outside. Yeah, it's really nice here today too. Mojo and I were just chilling outside, and then we came in and we went out in the balcony. It's been really nice here. I'm really enjoying it. It's supposed to start raining again, so that doesn't really... Like, I normally don't mind the rain. Like, I don't mind weather generally, unless it's like really hot. That's not my favorite. Oh, this isn't doing what I want it to do at all. We're just going to cut this. I'm using the scissor tool just to cut these down because I don't want them to be that long, I don't think, and they're distracting me. So I'm going to take them all out. Really warm here and nice, and it's going to get rainy, but like I said, I don't usually mind crappy weather because I just kind of like make the best of it, and it's an excuse to get some stuff done in here. But then last week, like, I had enough. It was cold all the time here, and I was tired, and it was a miserable mess. I did not enjoy it. Maybe we do not this, no. Oh, I know what I want to do. Oh, it got rid of it. Sweet. Let's see. I wonder if I want to pull these up here. What just happened? Something crazy just happened. Oh, I don't want this selected. Shoot. Too many things. So yeah, we've been happy to see the sunshine, that's for sure. Because it was really just kind of miserable last week. There we go. That's what I want to see. So yeah, so we enjoyed the sunshine today. We were sitting on the balcony and relaxing. It was nice. Okay. Actually, what I want to do here, I'm going to copy this. And then we're going to undo. And paste it. Because I don't know if that's too much of a deviation from the geometrics that I'm looking for here. I love hearing the birds too. Yeah, they're all out, which is super fun around here. I like it. There we go. That's the anchor I was looking for before. Snap. See? So much fun. So Illustrator holding on to these anchor points and things for me is really lets me play quickly. As you can see, I'm going to try and slow down because I think I'm just clicking like a mad person and not really properly sharing what I'm actually doing. And then just to see what works and what doesn't. Like I like to use Illustrator for for testing and all that kind of stuff, because I can move things around really quickly and use lots of color and stuff. So if I'm doing a logo or something, I'll definitely be in Illustrator playing around because I want to see what the results are nice and quickly. So I'm just copying our circle and our square here because we're gonna make some shapes here. I want to trim some of these lines. Oh dear, sorry. Oh, okay. We're having some technical difficulties here. Is that selected? Oh yes, on the triangle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the Pathfinder and I'm going to divide and ungroup because that just automatically grouped everything. And then we're going to select everything that's here and expand it and select everything that's here. So what that divide did is that every intersection kind of created a new shape. That we can play around with. And then I can just play around with, oh, I deleted my line. That's okay. That's okay. And then what if I did this? I don't know if I like this. I don't think I'm liking this right now. So it's not as kind of natural shape creating. It kind of looks like the pyramids. Okay, let's just remove that. And normally what I would do is I would just keep that and move on. And then copy paste just to keep it so that that bad idea is out of my head. But it's going to get messy here really quick. So I'm going to show you, while I have this selected, what that Pathfinder actually did. So you can see all these lines are selected, and I hope the screen will show it. If I redo the divide, you can see all these new intersections have been created. You can see these new pixels have been created, so now they're shapes instead of lines. And that's where I was able to kind of, when I use the merge, it's not merge, unite, sorry, that's where it created brand new shapes for us to work with. But I don't think I love what that did for us right now. So I'm just using the cut tool to shorten our lines, just so that they're not blocking the way. And you can cut them anywhere on the line. I just cut them up to the edge of the circle so that we could see what was going on. And I don't know how much I want to play with fills and things. So I'll pull this down so it looks a little bit more like a circus tent with the moon, which I kind of like. And then what if we did this? I'm going to pull this up, but this might be where fills and things come in. So if I put, right now there's no fill on this. So if I fill this with black and bring it to the front, it does nothing. That's super. Arrange, send to back. Did the fill not work? The fill didn't work. That's super helpful. Let's try again. There we go. Why does this not sticking? Do this. Okay. Swap. You will fill with black. I don't know why I was doing that. Reading the floor, April. Okay. Okay. Because then that can go in behind. The line can continue up all the way through this piece of art, but the moon won't be cut in half, which is kind of fun. And then there's quite literally no rhyme or reason to this right now. Like even less than if I was doing like Zentangle or something. Just seeing what kind of interests me, what jumps out, and what I think will apply to all of the cards. Like I think we're onto something with this moon. I'm just gonna pull the weight of these lines down a little bit because they're kind of a lot. Oh, for Pete's sake, what is happening? I just wanna no. Good Lord, so dramatic. I also like the idea of a bunch of little circles. Now this is kind of cool. Let's see if I can make this happen. Rotate. And if I have this, I'm just going to select this circle. So this is kind of our central space. And this red dot, if you can see it in the middle, that's the center of my circle. So when I click this, and I just selected the rotate tool with a shortcut, there's a little blue little centerpiece there. That's where this guy's going to rotate around if I want it to. But what I want it to do is select the center of the main circle because I want it to go rotate around. So this way I'm not guessing as to where the distance all the way around and kind of are they all equally distant or what's going on. So you saw our little circle there jumped to the next thing. So preview, so that's where it was, and this is where it will be. I think that's going to be a little too close together. So preview, well, let's give that a shot. And instead of just moving it around, I can click copy, and then I do Command D, and it will keep repeating that. And that's on Mac. I think it'd be Control D otherwise. But now you can see I have a full line of circles here, and because I picked a divided by an even number divided into 360, we all just wrapped all the way around. And now I can just take out the ones I don't want, because I think I don't want these guys here. Maybe that one I'll keep. Yeah, so then now that's all the way around. I don't have to guess and try and make them fit. Oh dear, sorry, so much jumping, guys. My apologies. And then now I kind of like, I like where we're going, so I want to, sorry, one more. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold option and drag over, which copies what we just did. over here in case we get too far down the road with this and I want to come back to a history. There's all kinds of like history tools and everything in Adobe products. But I think to use them, I have to like lose what I would be doing, and I'm not really interested in that. I'm going to have wished oh no, that's fine. And then this can be filled with black. Not loving that. I just think our circles are too big. Yeah, I think more of a 50% circle is what we want. Oh, see, that's not going to do what I want. So I'm going to clear these ones out because I want to try again. I want some circles and I want them, oof. Do I want them right on the edge? Or do I want them off the edge? Probably off the edge, eh? So this is a really just great way to play around with geometric shapes. Another thing I could do, which I am going to do, I just did Command R, sorry, to pick a guide. And right now I'm just snapping it to the center of the circle so I don't have to keep reselecting it. So those cyan lines, like the blue lines, they're not going to show up when I print. They're just guides, so they will also snap to the work as well. Just want to make sure everything's still working. Why is that being that way? Oh, the work as well. Okay. Just want to make sure everybody's still hanging out. Okay, good. We are still here. Whew. So the guides you can use for snapping as well. So if you start locking things or getting into lots of layers or lots of different pieces, like we have a lot of little shapes that are around here. So I could be they're all kind of central, but I could be clicking on any of those little anchor points and then they wouldn't all necessarily be lining to the same one. So having guides helps with that as well, because it'll come to like the intersection of the guides. So here's where we might do 10. Preview, copy, Command D all the way around. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Whew. I thought we were crashing into the circle. We kind of did a little bit because I think we were a little high. So I probably grabbed one of the anchor points. We were a little high. But that is okay. There's lots of different ways you can create things like this. I'm going to just group all these together because I want to play around with them a little bit. And it'll be much easier working within a group. Because yeah, something's off a little bit here. I think I grabbed an anchor point despite my guides. But you can control what... No! So I'm just going to Command G, and then we're going to center this a little bit more. It's pretty center though. I don't know why it's off. That's weird. Okay. What I am going to do is hide these guides now because they didn't help me. So now by grouping the circles, they're all in one big group, and they'll all, why are we not, why is the, come on you, why isn't it not, my arrow's not moving, oh, the keyboard's being kind of a dweeb. Come on you, why aren't the keyboards working? How come I can't? It's weird. Normally you can push with the arrows. I can't right now, and that's unsettling. Okay. So now, if I want to work with these, all I have to do is double click something within the group. And so now you can see everything else grayed out. Now I'm just working within the group. You can see I can't select anything that's on the outside there. I can just mess with what's in the group and not worry about what are we doing? I'm unsettled by why I can't use the arrows. I don't like that. It's kind of a big deal. I'm wondering if we want to do this. I wonder if I want to do this. Copy, paste in front, and if you hold the Option and the Shift, it'll hold as a circle, but then it will go from the center instead of one of the side of those anchors. We're on to something. Yeah. Something's not centered either. What the heck? One thing we can do, because something did get shifted here. Okay, I want this, not these. Or this, because I don't think it's a circle. Although selected, I'm going to go into the Align tool and center all of these. Something was shady boots. And then I'm going to click and drag this guy over to snap there. Okay. And I'm not certain I want like all of these. So let's see if we want to take out three. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want this one going maybe. Okay. Oh. This I want to fill, but I want this guy. Okay, come on. Come on, you. Just messing around with the layering here. They're all on the same layer. Now I'm wondering if we bring all of these to be, where's my stroke? 1.5. Arrows are working there. That doesn't make any sense. Just bringing them all to the same stroke weight so that we can kind of see what's going on. So that's just the thickness of the white. The reason why I wanted that black is because I wanted this to go to the back. Okay, so it looks like a night circus. We're making progress. So what's everybody up to this evening? Hanging out in the sunshine while it lasts. Always a good time. I have a busy week ahead. Lots of little things. End of May snuck up on me. Much to do. That's all good business to have. So if you're holding the shift key, things are going to stay in line. Why is everything being weird tonight? Everything will stay uniform. That's how am I getting my perfect circles, is holding the shift key. Not really living for that as much. What if I bring this down a little more? Okay. Just going to pull this down a bit because I want to make sure there's lots of room in the back of the card, because what we're going to have to do is make sure that there's lots of room around the back to make sure that it's just that there's some wiggle room to play with. Should in print there be a shift. So I need to have a bit of wiggle room. And what I'm trying to do here is I just want to make an inside stroke here. So to make a rounded edge rectangle, you grab this little anchor guy here and just drag it in. And I'm just kind of using that black of the other one because I couldn't remember what my radius was. It was 0.2, so now I remember. And I'm going to eyedropper the edge of our colored tarot card to see if we can't figure this out. 2 inches? No. Why are we like this, Illustrator? Scaling didn't work the way I wanted it to. So when you're holding the Option key, you're going to be doing from both sides. So I could grab this and grab one of these pull points and it'll just kind of go from the side I want. But if I want them to go matching and keep this center space, then I hold the Option key and it will go from both sides there. Or if I hold Shift in that, all of them will go from the center anchor point. And then what I'm thinking I'm going to do, I'm going to copy in front. And because this is a rectangle, I have to make some adjustments. I have to do a couple different ones because we want to make sure that it's a little more even. But for this guy, I'm going to, eyedropper the gray edge of the other one. Let's see how it comes out. Can we, like, where's my stroke? 0.5. And what's my radius on this guy? Oh, now I'm going to have really crappy math because I don't think 0.2 works on all of them. I don't think you can do that without looking dumb. So I think I've messed these up, so I'm just gonna use the last copy paste we did there and try again because I think we made a bit of a mess. So there's lots of things, like I said, I want to have a bit of an edge here. Actually, let me see. So you probably have a bit of a got about 1/4 of an inch. I'm just using the ruler at the top. Oh no, that's a lie. I've got like 1/8 of an inch. That's not gonna work. If you're making something for print, and I won't go into this a lot this time because I suspect there'll be a print document set up. Ooh, fancy. Stream at some point to make sure that we are, because that like there's a lot of different things you have to keep in mind when you're doing print setup. You have to keep in mind something called bleed. So that's why you have to have like a good edge. So when I'm checking this, so just about 7 1/8 of an inch is tight. I don't know what this printer is going to want, but you want to have 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch of wiggle room, because if the print, I think 1/8 on a card would make a lot of sense, because I feel like they work a lot smaller than if you're doing like a poster or something. But you have to talk to your printer and see what their tolerance is, because if you don't give yourself that wiggle room and their printer shifts, like we could come in and have half of this just blown away. Like a big, huge chunk of this could come off. Usually it's not that dramatic, but it could be that like one side of these is like cut off, and then you have like a really short, close to the border one, and then you can, like it would look shifted, like you could tell. So just something to keep in mind when you're designing things, because I've done it before, like we were just doing, and just being like, everything's fine, just kind of throw it together, and then the printer gives you your tolerance and you basically have to start over. You didn't give it enough room. I did that a couple times. I did that with the bookmarks last year a couple times. So just kind of like something to always keep in mind, no matter how simple your design is. If you're getting it printed, talk with your printer and see what they're doing and what their tolerance points are. Okay. So what I'm kind of feeling is maybe. Okay, I have to unlock this layer. No, I hid it instead. Okay, so what I'm thinking is if I do this, I just selected the black and the gold border. Sorry, Illustrator was my first Adobe product, so I work really quick in it, and I'm sorry. So I'm trying to slow myself down here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So what I want to do here is I want to cut a hole in the bit, because I want to try having this pattern be on the border edge here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that Pathfinder. So we have this gold shape on top and the black one on the bottom, and they're both selected, and then we're going to divide that. So what that has done is that's actually created two shapes for me. There's no line here because there's no line on the original. But now if I select, oh, sorry, they're ungrouped. So we'll ungroup there. And now I can select the middle, and that shape has cut a hole right in, just like a cookie cutter. I don't want that middle bit, so I just deleted it away. Sometimes you want to keep it. So if you watch the Jane stream that we did on Saturday, that's how she made a lot of her shapes. So, sorry. Oh dear, what just happened? Actually, I don't want this. I don't want to do this right now. So that's how she made a lot of her shape is dividing it. So sometimes you do want to keep all those shapes. But today I don't want to. Option, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to align these, center this way, and then center vertical. So they're right on top of one another. And with them selected, I made a clipping mask. So what that did, we have all of this black shape here. And then what this is doing is this is creating a mask like we do in fresco, where I hide things away and then kind of slowly make them appear. I'm doing that with a shape this time instead. So rather than kind of drawing it back in, I already have what I want, the shape I want drawn. So you have to make sure that what you want to clip is on top. And then you select both and then do create, make clipping mask. And if the IsoDraw gods agree, it will clip to that shape. And then now you have something that you want to work with. So I'm going to go to my outline mode here. So this shows where all my lines are. So this helps me to make sure that all my vectors are nice and lined up, because very frequently you'll see things are kind of like this. If you start doing divides and things like that, you're going to get all these little tiny slivery shapes that you don't want. So sometimes when there's a lot going on, the smart guides aren't always as helpful. So having this is good. So now you see all these lines are nice and lined up. And so I don't have to worry about any weirdness happening there. Now I don't love how these are playing together. I want to do this a bit. Do I want to do... No. Do I want to do... Yeah. Okay, I want to do that a bit. Okay, so we're starting to come together with some interesting things. Now, are all my strokes... Okay, let's get all of these strokes here on the same page. Okay, so what I want to do actually first, I'm going to make sure all of this is on the first layer, and then I'm going to lock it again. So that just leaves me this design. So again, I don't shift things around that I don't want shifting around. And then when the stroke field is empty, when you have a bunch of things highlighted, it means you have a bunch of different stroke weights selected. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to bring them all to the same one. 0.5. And then we're going to play with this because I want to add a lot more to it. But I think I want this one to be smaller, this one to be bigger. I don't want to play around with too many line weights. I think I want like 3 line weights at most. So, just to keep things from getting too ridiculous. Maybe this instead. These can be 0.25s. This isn't centered. Why is that not centered? Why are you not centered? What's happening? Why won't my arrows work? I don't love that. I don't love that discovery. And then maybe these minus this. These can be 0.25s. I almost want this to be a 1. Which makes me think this should also be a 1. I think these have to be the same, because if we don't, this intersection here is going to be off. So if I undo that, see how like they don't line up anymore? So I think we need those two to at least be the same line weight. So I'm gonna save this because there's so many tarot files. Good Lord. Okay, so Night Circus, borders. Is that what I want? Sure. What's in this? Oh, huh. Back of card. Tarot. So I feel like I'm going to be doing other cards at some point. So I'm liking where this is at. I don't want it to get too crazy, but I also don't feel like this is what I want to be committing myself to. Like, I'm wondering if we have like a line. Like, I'm wondering if something like from here. Oh, I start. No. Like, I'm wondering if it's a lot easier if the line that you're cutting is on top, because otherwise you're going to clip the line that's around it, that's nearby, especially if you're cutting on an intersection. Your life will be a lot easier. Actually, let's do this. No, I don't think that's the thing. This is going to do like raise up, but I think that's too much. I kind of want to put this line back. I'm going to take the fill out. I'll bring it down to and then get rid of this one. I'm not super sold on these guys. They're pretty big. What if we did? Front. And then we do get option. I'm going to rotate it, and if I hold shift again, it will rotate on 90-degree angles. Get rid of this for a sec. And for a sec, I mean like right now. Okay. And then what if we do again, not too big. I don't want it to be crazy. And this is literally kind of my process for something. Something shifted. Something did not shift. Never mind. I overreacted. Dan's here. Welcome to the stream. We are doing the back of some tarot cards today. Trying to figure out what the heck we're going to do the back of these beauties. So actually, if I unlock my layer, no, not turn it off again. We put this up here. Oh dear, what has happened? I'm gonna grab them all. Option. Click and drag. This would kind of be our little collection here. I wonder. This is why my Illustrator files get redonkulous messy. Because I have another thought. I want to do. What's happening, Dan? I feel like I haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on, man? I have another idea, so I'm dragging it out. I'm so sorry, y'all. Not that. This, please. That's not really a big deal. So what if we now do this? No, I don't think I like that as much. Take out this fill. I feel like it's a little busy. I don't think I like that as much. But I also feel like there's so much black on this. So can I lock this again, please? But I feel I don't want to make it busy. But I think it needs to fill more space. It's been a busy time since last week with MomoCon, and now we're getting back ready for our summer camp. I'm back to streaming tomorrow morning, so everybody, if you are following Dan, or even if you're not following Dan, check him out in the morning. He's going to show something pretty awesome, because he always does. I will be doing my best to tune in. Okay. What if we do? No, don't option it. Just shift it. What if I did this? See, this is just kind of like my chaotic process that gets me where I need to go until something just hits me and is like, that's what I want to do. That's what I wanted. What if I flip this around and have this do this and this and this? Is that how it felt? I did the wrong thing, didn't I? What the heck? Shift. Ah, here it is. Maybe too much of a tangent. Oh, I don't know why the keys aren't working. It's very unfortunate. Because normally I can use my key to do like a little nudge. I must have accidentally turned something off, which would sound about right. Oh, we're getting close, guys. This is starting to feel close. Copy back. And if I do this, not this, copy front on that layer, silly. I said not this one. Oh, no, that's absolutely not what I wanted. Sorry, I thought I'd do some layering magic, but I think I was gonna make a mess for future me. She hates when I do that. Come on, 0.25. Oh, we're getting close, guys. I can feel it. Copy front. Nope, Moj, don't worry about it, bro. No, Moj, don't worry about it, bro. Hey, Mojo. Get rid of these. And make these fit here. Oh, that's witchcraft. There's no way that should have worked. Not that quick. Witchcraft, I tell you. And I only want 3 for no reason at all. Now I wonder if these, if we swap them, if you do Shift X, it'll change what your fill and your stroke colors are. It'll only use what you have there, so. Okay, no, before I get too far down this road. So you can use that to help yourself if you're interested in. Okay, I think this is not one we're using. Future me will be upset if I do that. This is getting a little busy, but let's just do this for a sec. Because I think I want to play with front and back. So if you're using your like your fill and stroke section, and you're like when you're changing colors, whatever's the one in front, it's going to be what you're changing to. So if you're like me and sometimes you forget what the fill or like which one's in the front, sometimes I'll make like the stroke red and the fill's in the front, so then I just Shift X and take the fill out of it. As I've mentioned, I'm a shortcuts person, so I like to play around and see what I can do right away. Unless we don't do both. If we do this, and then this, and then this is a 0.25 already. Nuts. I want these. Oh dear. Sorry. With these windows that you use, it'll remember what you did last time, so that's why it was at a 50. And if you do Control D, it'll be it'll take position into location. That's why like this is going to shift it over, which I don't want it to do. So that's why I did them individually instead of all as a group. We're on to something, guys. We're getting close, I feel. Now, this will be one of those ones that I percolate on for a while. Like, I will be working on this guy. I was wondering if I can get through. Like, I'll be working on this and just kind of see what comes back to me, what fits, what I like, what I don't like. I'm wondering if I can get this to go through. Some of the smart guides, some of the snaps, especially when we get into a lot of vectors like this, can be cumbersome because it wants to snap to different things that you don't want it to snap to. So sometimes a zoom in is really all you need there. If this is a 0.5, then I might not just like that. Lots of tangents that I want to make sure I'm kind of being careful about. Because that goes through the circles, which is good. We have a few circles coming off the top. This, I don't want a stroke on this. Aha! That's magic. I know I've gone over time, guys. Sorry, I just want to get this to a fun point. Maybe no stroke on this. No, I want a stroke on that. Clean it up a little bit. Oh, I wonder if, oh gosh, this one's going to be redonkulous. Undo that. It's also kind of fun keeping all these little things because then you can see where you started and where you ended up. No, just the one thing is all I need. Thank you. So what did I do? I did this. Okay, so this group and this. Because we have so many lines, so like this circle and this circle come from the top down, and this circle and this circle come from the top down. I'm kind of wondering, now we could either do, bring this to the front, and take out the fill. That didn't do too much. I thought that maybe the way the strokes were overlapping was causing a problem. So what I'm thinking is to bring a little bit more balance to the bottom instead of this one touching the top, because I want this circle here to touch the top because it gives my cut to make it look like a circus. I don't know that I love that as much. It kind of creates some weird, it looks like some stuff is an accident. So what if I did something like this? Just a simple circle. I would, for some reason, I want it a little bigger. Guys, I'm starting to get excited. That means I think we're close. We will not finish this today, like I said. This will be sitting in my... Now, why aren't these in the middle? Why aren't you in the middle? Okay. This will be sitting like on my... I'll probably export this to my iPad so we can just sit and chill. And every now and again I can look at it and see what jumps out to me as working, like this, and what jumps out to me as not working. Whew, okay. I think we're almost onto something here, guys. So if I take this, use our inspiration here. So let's get, oh, he's on the other layer. So let's do, okay, let's do this and get this the heck out of here. Oh, no, this one. This one out of here. And, oh dear, then I'm gonna make a mess. Okay, then we lock that. Lock the layers, bro. So fancy. Ooh, okay. And then make a, okay, where's my stroke layer? Now, let go. I want to change my settings to, because I'll show you why this is a good thing. Let's type guides. Show options. Dashed line. No. Hang on a second. Settings, general. Scale, strokes, and effects. Okay, so this guy right here, that's why my stroke was changing every time I move things around. And like I said, it did not matter at the start because all I wanted was the shapes. But now, because I've picked certain things to be a point, how can you even stay a 0.25, you silly goose? 0.25, 0.75, 0.5, rather than going back and changing what they were, even though that's what I seem to be doing. These both have to be changed for sure. So this way, rather than going back in and changing them all, because I don't want those circles touching that border. So now when I do this, holding shift, always hold shift, please hold shift. Now when I select this, it's still a 0.25, it's still a 0.75, and then we have lots of room to work with there. What stroke is this one? Let's do a 0.5 there. Actually, you know what? I want a 1 here. And I want this on the outside. There we go. Oh, see, I'm getting stoked now. I'm getting stoked. Now, I like how that one worked. I switched it to a 1 point stroke on the outside and have the stroke on the outside of the shape. So on the outside of, you can see how the black is surrounding the red here. If I go to this one, sorry guys, lots of jump in here. You can see the strokes on the outside of the red. Really great for if you're doing strokes on fonts and things, because if you have it going like to the inside or on the edge, sometimes it messes with the lines if you're working with outlines. So really great to be playing around with that. So this setting is stroke on the outside and 1 point. So rather than, I want to do the same thing here, rather than going in and manually doing it, I'm going to use the eyedropper tool and do this one and see how it's got the stroke on the outside and it's 1 point. I don't have to keep resetting that. And I kind of want to do that to these guys. Maybe. Yes. Okay. So I think we're actually, one thing I want to do, I swear I will let you all get on with your evening. I just give you more and more ideas, and I'm going to mess it up if I don't get it right. This, I don't know why it would have done that. Something like this to like hint at a star maybe. Maybe. Or have it in the middle. Can we do it right in the middle? Not sure if I'm living for that so much. Not sure if that's doing anything. If my keyboard would work, I'd be able to put it where I want it. There's some potential. Okay. All right, I think we're on the right track. So like I said, this is gonna go, I'm gonna send this right to my iPad immediately so that I have it on me. That's how creativity works. Dan says, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. So I'm gonna send this to my iPad so I have it with me. I'm gonna pop it open a few times, see what works for me, what doesn't, because I think like these two little circles here are really speaking to me. I like that kind of layering that they have. So maybe that means I change the layering between a couple circles to add more of that, or somehow outline the tent a little bit more, or it's just fine as it is. Do a little bit more white fills, a little more black fills, because I think we're doing okay, but I still think there's quite a bit of black here. So if I were to do something crazy like this, oh dear, now I'm making a mess. Just to fill up some of those black spaces. Oh, look at me doing what I said I was going to do. I'll probably add some more of those. Look, here they are. Sorry, I gotta get closer so that it will play the game. Left card and middle card design. Yes, bud. And then have these as same 0.25 because I did the stroke thing. Okay, so like this has some potential here as well. So I could be doing this for days. But I think we're really kind of coming on to something here. So this will just be kind of a muddy part of the process for a few little minutes. Ooh, see everything I add, I get more excited. So I'm just gonna save this. Left card and middle card design, like this too. Oof, so much fun. And then we'll see, let's get rid of this. Again, not get rid of it, move it over here. And then see how this looks up here with the rest of its buddies, with the rest of its friends. Because we could even get like rid of this. Oh, I almost like it without the pattern. Oh dear, what did I just do? Okay, oh gosh, we're making a mess. Okay, one more quick try of a thing, and then I swear I'll let you guys get on with your day. Okay, this. I know, puppy, I promised. See, I almost like it just plain black on the back. Oh, Past Me's gonna be mad if I don't. No, I can't possibly do that. I would be really upset. Oh no. Do I like them just black or with the pattern on them? Oh no, I wish I hadn't done this. This is bad. Oh. We could keep the pattern on the fronts of the cards and just have the back be just black instead of having this pattern on it. Because I kind of like how this all black back to the card is working. But I don't know how I feel about taking out the pattern on all of them. I don't know if I could bring myself to do that. Not because we're so far in. Oh, you guys are getting a sneak peek at the next card, by the way. Oh no. Okay, that's inner turmoil for me to deal with later. Oh god, okay. Okay, so we made a lot more progress here than I thought we were going to today. I am very stoked with this. So yeah, we're going to sit on it for a little bit. Like this will be the kind of tweaking kind of madness for a few days. And then when it's ready, we will kick it off. And then once this back of this card is done, we're going to send some of these beauties off to test print. Which we can see how the pattern prints on the card first, I guess, and go from there. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, well, I'm going to save this, and I am going to come back to here. Me? No. No. Now we'll stick here. So I think that's where we're going to leave this off for now. We're going to be playing with these cards for quite a bit, but like I said, this is kind of the last key thing I need to do before I can test print some of these cards. So once I figure out a printer that's interesting to me, and once find something that I find out their parameters and everything, I may do a stream on just how you set up those files. Because then like you can talk some of the stuff I was talking about with like the inches on the side and the shapes on the side and kind of how you create a full bleed document. I might go through that because that's actually something that a lot of designers don't know. And I think it's critical if you're going to be doing print quite a bit. So we're going to be definitely taking care of that. Once I know better what's going on with those files. So that'll be a few weeks down the line. I still have some research to do. And I have to make sure that this is finalized first. Dan says, this looks really good. Thank you so much. I'm very stoked with this. Very stoked. I hope you will have a fabulous evening. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. RB was here for a minute. I hope he's feeling better. Antoine, if you're still here, thanks for tuning in. Alessandra, Dan, I appreciate you all. And everybody else who's been lurking in the shadows, I appreciate it. So I will be back next week. Face cards, tarot, who knows? We'll see. But some cards will be in play, let's say that. I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your week. If you're available, tune into Dan's stream tomorrow morning because he's probably going to be doing something super epic, as he always does. So we will check that out. Alessandra streams on the weekends, so keep an eye out for her streams. And I'll be back next Monday. I hope you guys have a fabulous week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.